we have a dream, and you know what the dream is? We're going to move the Department of Education. We're going to move education into the states, so that the states, instead of bureaucrats working in Washington, so that the states can run education.
Step one, cut that fat. The Department of Education announcing that nearly half its workforce is GONE out. Linda McMahon outlining the big picture strategy in an interview on Fox News.
What we did today was to take the first step of eliminating what I think is bureaucratic bloat. We wanted to make sure that we kept all of the right people and the good people to make sure that the outward-facing programs, the grants, the appropriations that come from Congress, all of that are being met. We're not taking away education. The president never said that. He's taken the bureaucracy out of education so that more money flows to the states. Better education is closest to the kids, with parents, with local superintendents, with local school boards.
Joining us now, Alabama Senator and Senate Help Committee member Tommy Tuberville. Senator Tuberville, fantastic to see you. Oh, I could keep going. Let's get rid of the federal government's involvement in making student loans. Help me with that. Let's also, what about Senator Tom Cotton's idea of slapping a 6% excise tax on all those big, fat, tasty endowments of those rich universities like Harvard and Stanford? Let's do that too, Senator.
You're right on target, Dagan. In 40 years I spent in education, and it has downgraded itself so much. And really in the last 20 years, you know, all we do up here is pay these union spoiled brats in these buildings up here that work from home, even if they do come to the office. Let them go, get them out of the way. We can handle all the business we need to handle, but Tom Cotton's right. We have all these big endowment funds that are just built by money from all over the world, and they probably should be taxed at the end of the day, but we have to start educating our kids. My God, sooner or later we're going to wake up and smell the roses that our kids can't read, write, do math, do science. It is atrocious, the direction that these unions have taken us. And Dagan, with the top, probably 70% of all these high schools are administrators now, 30% teachers. We need to have 70% teachers, 30% administrators, and if you want to be a union worker, fine, go work for the steel workers. We do not need people that's not going to teach our kids in these schools. If you want to be a union worker, it is just absolutely amazing how they have downgraded the education.
You know, Senator, it's one thing to rip out the workforce, and I love that part. Regulations are a big part of this. Taking apart the DOE means doing something about their regulatory authority, which, frankly, they never should have had any regular authority. So when it comes to that, what's going to be done there?
Well, you're exactly right, David. You know, the thing that people don't realize and understand is every state has their own Department of Education. It's not like we're not going to have a Department of Education, but every state, you know, I'm from the South. We have a different way of life in terms of education. We educate our kids in different curriculums. Everybody should do their own thing, but we can't regulate ourselves out of business. We don't need dictatorship from Washington, D.C. to people in Georgia or South Carolina or Montana or California. Let us teach our kids the way that we want to teach them. Let the parents be involved. Get all this bureaucracy out of the way. The one thing that I've told people since I've been in this business, run for school board. If you want to get it corrected, run for the school board. Be a part of that school board that helps make decisions from parents to administrators. It would help tremendously to get people and parents back involved.
Indeed. Moving on to this, as America's once great elite universities plummet to new lows, Senate Democrats are more concerned with securing the release of an alleged terrorist sympathizer than rebuilding our academic standards. Well, how about just not graduating kids from high school who are functionally illiterate? Senate Judiciary Democrats posted on X, quote, free Mahmoud Khalil. That was what they actually had the audacity, the Senate Judiciary Dems. Are they like that in private too? Because that's atrocious.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, the Democrats basically, you know, they don't like our country anymore. They just want to, you know, tear it down. They're going to take this guy's side. Every Democrat that we work with up here, they're going to take this guy's side, and they're going to try to drive this narrative that he's doing the right thing. He's the people we should be backing. The heck with the education. You know, we have two levels of education. We have K through 12, and we have higher ed. We've got to treat both of them different. But when it comes to protesters, we got to make sure we treat all of them the same. Send them to jail. Free speech is great, but hate, free speech is not what we need in these universities, and they don't need to be doing things that they're preaching from Hamas about anti-Semitism.
Senator, let's move on to number 3. And Trump's tariffs, making America great again. It's a great strategy. If somebody's finally doing something out of the White House, President Trump, that is, that says you have to take an action in another country.
Yeah. No pain, no gain. That's what we used to tell our football players. There's going to be some pain with tariffs. But tariffs got us back as the strongest economy in the world when President Trump was in the first time. He knows what he's doing. Democrats, get out of the way, shut up. You have no answers. You didn't do anything right in the last 4 years with Joe Biden. We have a game plan. Trump has a game plan along with Howard Lutnick and the other people that are pushing the tariffs. We can turn this thing around. But, folks, let me tell you, this is our last chance. If we can't get it done now with tariffs and with pulling regulations and getting people back to work and cutting our debt and cutting the amount of spending, we're not going to have the country that we've had before. So people need to just listen, learn from this, understand it's short-term pain. We're going to get this turned around. President Trump knows exactly what he's doing, and he has a game plan, something Democrats didn't know anything about.
Senator, before we go, though, these Democrats are trying to do some weird voodoo mind meld on the American people. And as they haven't learned, but again, it always goes back to fear equals control and control equals power. They're trying to frighten the American people into thinking that inflation, hearkening back to the Biden inflation, is coming because of President Trump pushing for a reciprocal trade relationship with all of our trading partners. We don't have much to lose compared to everything. We're in the driver's seat. We're in control, and only about 14% of our economy comes from imports. And the message from the Republicans needs to be, we're okay. We're going to make this work.
Sure, it's going to work. There's a plan. It's the first time we've seen a plan, first time I've seen one since I've been here for 4 years. But I call the Democrats, they have a woke mind virus. They're absolutely sick in the head of what they're trying to do and what they've been trying to push for 4 years. Now they don't understand, well, what's this guy doing? Well, he has a plan. He's going to push tariffs. We are the #1 consumer of products all over the world, okay? We consume more than anybody, and we need to control that. We need to control making sure that, #1, our farmers and our businesses and the manufacturing companies do the things they need to do to make money, but also get manufacturing to come into this country. That's the whole plan behind President Trump.
Blank around and find out, Senator. Senator Tommy Tuberville,
That's right.
Good to see you.